Cowabunga dudes and dudettes, this is Anthony, aka BatBomb82, and today I'll be doing my 216th Mezco Toys 112 Collective action figure review, this time being of the Dick Tracy and Flat Top 2-pack. Now as we can see, this figure does come in a thicker type of packaging with a great comic book image of Dick Tracy on the front. And if we turn the box around, we get a really cool image of Flat Top. So with the box out of the way, let's go ahead and crack these figures open and let them breathe. Alright guys, so I'm going to go ahead and start off with Flat Top here first. As you can see, in my opinion, I think Mezco has really stepped their game up when it comes to things like the tailoring of their suits. I think they've just been doing such a good job with this. So we get a nice purple suit that looks really, really good. Just a simple white shirt underneath. The coats can be taken off if you really want to. I also like how they have a little bit of a bendy wire in the bottom of the seam of the jackets. Both him and Tracy both have a little bendy wire in this. That's pretty cool. Love the fact that he's rocking a little bow tie. Got a nice black belt there. This all looks really good. Nice shoes, peg holes at the bottom of the feet. You know, pretty simple when it comes just to the aesthetics. You know, they are just pretty much gangsters, you know, guys in suits. But I love it, man. I think he looks really, really cool and just captures those vintage comics really, really well. Moving on to the accessories for Flat Top here, we of course do get the Mezco circular base stand and just gonna have vintage comic book artwork of Flat Top, which looks great. I love that a lot. And of course they both come with a clear articulated arm. We also do get a bunch of interchangeable hands, which I think is really nice. You got different types of trigger finger hands and gripping hands and open palm hands and things like that, which are all really, really cool. But some of the best accessories are definitely going to be the head sculpt. So you get 4 different head sculpts with Flat Top here. And again, I love how Mezco has really turned those vintage style comics into these almost a little more realistic, you know, kind of like the original movie did. But you got the unibrow, which looks really good. And again, that flat top hair, which is like I don't know, just a flat head, which I think looks really cool. And a little bit of freckles in his lips and those like squinty eyes. They look so good. Then just next to that one, we have a little one that's a little more smirky and a little more cocky. That one looks really cool too. His brow's a little up, kind of doing the whole rock thing with the brow, one brow up kind of thing. Looks really good. Then you have one where he's kind of looking off to the side very suspiciously, like he's checking out, you know, where the cops are or whatever. He's looking over his shoulder kind of thing. It looks pretty cool too. And then definitely that one that's all angry, looks a little scratched up. He is pissed. He definitely wants to take out those coppers. So I think that one works very, very well as well. We also do get a bunch of different weapons with him. Like you do get this pistol, which I think is really cool. And it's a pretty basic pistol, you know what I mean? Nothing crazy spectacular. You can cock it back like a lot of other Mezco guns. And the magazine here does come out, and it does come with extra magazines. So I think that's really, really cool. We do have a switchblade here that can actually fold in and out. I think that's pretty awesome. A great little gangster weapon like that. We do have a crowbar here, which is a nice beefy crowbar. That's really cool too. So that's a great weapon to have for him. I can't remember what this is called. This is called a specific thing, but it's basically like a tool to knock people out and stuff and hit over the head with, to bludgeon people basically. So this is really cool. Just again, very, very gangster-like weapon. I love that. One of my favorite weapons in this whole set here is definitely going to be this sawed-off shotgun. I think that looks awesome, dude. This can be cocked like that, so you can, you know, pretend like you're loading it and then cocked back like so. That's really cool. It does have peg holes for the different blast effects if you want to do that. So that is an awesome-looking accessory. We do get a bundle of dynamite, which looks really good too. Love the paint apps on that. Even has a little clock timer on there, and the wrapping all looks really rad. They did such a great job with the accessories, man. Again, I've said it many times before, Mezco really shines when it comes to accessories. Now, when I say that, we bring in this here, which is like a violin case, which is super cool. It does have little clips like that, so you could open this up right here. And then you can see little slots. And we've seen this before with things like Boom Boom for Gomez, where you can open up Boom Boom and store things in there. That is because he does come with a Tommy gun. Those two do get two different types of drums. This whole thing does come apart, so like if you want to take off the stock right there, and you can put it inside like that, and you can see fit the different pieces into the different areas. Like you get a little drum right there, the whole gun goes in there, you know, the butt of the rifle goes in there, and you can close it up and then carry it around, and that's just super cool, man. That is probably easily my favorite accessory in the bundle here. Again, Mezco really shines when it comes to their accessories. I think it's super cool. Very, very fun accessory. And then the final accessory for Flat Top is going to be this awesome green coat. I love the buttons here. And then the furry collar just looks really good. And again, just very much like those old comics. I love this look so much. You know, very Joker-esque with the purple and greens, you know what I mean? The bottom of the coat does have a bendy wire as well, so you can kind of pose this around a little bit if you want to and fold that just like so. And I think it looks really, really cool, man. You can close it up a little bit. It doesn't actually latch. You know, you can't actually pin this closed like that, but you can kind of just get it wrapped around like so, and you can kind of get it to stay in place. But I love seeing things like the pockets and all that. That is just a very cool look. I love that it comes with stuff like this. It just makes this figure even better in my opinion. So let's go ahead and break down the articulation for Flat Top here. So the head is on a ball joint, does roll around. The neck is a separate ball joint down into the chest area. So that rolls around, does turn left and right, up and down pretty well. So that's good. And then pivots side to side. You know, it is going to be hindered with the jacket, but you can just move the material around and go all the way up, down, up and out. No butterfly joint, but there is a rotation at the bicep. It looks like it's double jointed elbows. That's really nice. Rotation at the wrist as well as a hinge at the wrist. We do get a double ball peg in the midsection, so that rolls around, does turn left and right, crunches back and forth very well, and pivots side to side. Hip joints that kick forward that much, back about that far, splits out. If you bunch up the material, you can split out even further like so. Rotation to the upper thigh. We got double jointed knees where he can kick himself in his own butt, and the ankles are on those ball pegs. But I love this. The socks looks so good on that. I think it's really, really cool. Up and down, rotate, and a pretty sweet ankle rocker. So pretty good articulation. Again, if you're not used to these suited suits, these suited figures, the articulation can be a little hindered. All right, now let's go ahead and talk about some Dick. Tracy, that is. I just love this character. Oh my god, I grew up being such a huge Dick Tracy fan. I love the old Playmates toys, the old movie, the old comics. I was such a huge Tracy fan. I used to draw him all the time, and it's so cool that he's in the Mezco 112 collective line, and I think that he did such a good job. Now, just feeling the figure compared to Flat Top, he definitely does feel a little bulkier, especially in the upper torso area up here. He is definitely bulkier and a little wider. But again, just a simple dude in a suit, nothing too flashy. Again, a little bendy wire in there too, nice bell with a vest, and his iconic red and black striped tie. Again, you can take the coat off, the jacket if you want to. And there's just a simple white shirt. Nice blue material all throughout this. Again, Mezco's really stepped up their tailoring when it comes to these figures. Shoes look really good. So I love this, man. It looks really, really nice. Now moving on to Dick Tracy's accessories, we of course get that circular base stand, and again, that old school comic art with Tracy checking his watch there. I think it looks really cool, holding his little revolver. Such an iconic look, and of course the clear articulated arm. We do also get a bunch of different interchangeable hands for him as well. Again, different types of trigger finger hands, gripping hands, open palm hands, stylized posing hands. All those special things look really, really cool. With Tracy, you technically do get a lot of these blast effects that we've seen, and the muzzle effects that we've seen with multiple figures over the years when it comes to Mezco. And you could use them for either figure. You know, we've seen these all before. If you have pretty much any Mezco figure with muzzle effects, you know exactly what you're going to get. So they're all the same ones that we've seen before. We have different accessories, things like some handcuffs here, which I think are really, really cool. Those are nice. You can put those on Flat Top or Prune Face if you have Prune Face as well. I love the little badge that we get here. I think this thing is awesome. If my camera can actually focus on that little guy, so that's really cool. I love the metallic and silver gold paint on that, and I love the little badge holder right there. That looks very, very cool. Things like this, man. We get a coffee mug with actual coffee in there. that is genius, because, you know, he was always known to see, you'd always see him in the comics drinking at the diner, drinking coffee and things like that, so that's really rad. We do get a flashlight, which is very cool, so he can do his inspections and things like that, like he's searching for the bad guys. That's really, really cool. We get this very tiny little pistol, which is so little, it barely fits in my fat fingers, you know what I mean? But I still like it. And then, of course, you do get his revolver, which is very iconic. And that thing can actually spin, which I think is pretty cool. So I love that a lot. And that's going to go for another accessory, being this little harness here that you can actually hold the gun in like that if you wanted to, or excuse me, like that. And this is going to be, I'm going to go ahead and take these hands off and show you this real quick. Take this off. You probably want to take the jacket off like this, pull the arms back, pull these sleeves down like so. And then you go to, excuse me, swing that over the shoulder. Same thing with this side. And then you can see having holding it under his arm like that. And then you can go ahead and put the jacket back on. You can put the coat over that, and you can have him kind of having it being held in that holster under all his garments. So that works out really good. Next up, we do have Tracy's wrist communicator here. So what you're going to want to do, you're going to want to like bundle up a sleeve like that, take a hand off, and then put that on over the wrist like that, and then put a hand back on, and there you go. Now you have it on his wrist. It's really cool because it also comes with like this little, like, I don't know if you want to call it like a sound effect when it's being alerted. You know, you would see that a lot in the comics, that it would be sounding off with those little like lightning bolt type of effects. So if you want to do something like that to make it seem like he's getting an alert, I think that's super cool, man. Again, very, very iconic. He also does get this awesome rifle as well. You know, this can be replaced. You do get 2 of these magazines here, but a really nice rifle. I love the wooden stock here, and that really nice like gunmetal silver all looks really, really awesome. But the last few accessories here, we do get interchangeable heads. I think the head sculpts look fantastic. Again, that very squinted eye look with those thick brows and that just really gnarly square jaw. Again, really capturing those old comic book look, but, you know, making it realistic. It's kind of crazy that Mezco is able to do that. I love it when they did it with Popeye. That was so cool to me. And I think they're doing great with these Dick Tracy figures. Then you have one that's a little more smiling, which I think is really nice too. A little smirk off to the side, which looks really good. And then you got that more angry one that was yelling with the teeth showing. He looks super pissed, so I love that. Now, what's really cool with these head sculpts, the hair piece is actually interchangeable. So all the heads have something like this. So if you want to put the hair on, you would just take it and put it on this head like that. Now that's because he does come with his signature yellow hat, and instead of putting the hat over the hair, which would make it fit a little weird, it has these little grooves in each head to make it fit a little more flush and a little more appropriate to the actual head, which is super cool. And again, you can do that with all the head sculpts, where you can actually replace it with the hair or the hat itself, which I think looks very, very good. And then, of course, the last accessory for Tracy here is going to be that iconic yellow coat. Oh my God, just having this coat here with the hat looks amazing to me. The material is fantastic. I love the studs, the buttons that they have on here. And again, it is a little bit of a bendy wire here in the seam, as well as the sash that kind of keeps it wrapped up. So you can like close this up and then like tie it off here. And this is on a bendy wire too, so you can pose that around. But how cool does that look, man? Like, oh my God, that is such a badass looking Dick Tracy figure. I love it so much. One thing I noticed too when I was playing around with these, I mean, look at like his hands, and then look at Flat Top's hands. I mean, Dick Tracy has some beefy, chunky sausage fingers, dude, like me. So like, I understand your plight, buddy. But that is just pretty gnarly. He's got some big man hands. But dude, again, how rad does that actually look? I love it. So moving on to the articulation, the head and the neck are on separate ball pegs, so you got lots of good motion there. It does turn left and right, up very far, down that much, pivot side to side. Again, with the material, you gotta be able to maneuver these things, but the arm can go all the way up pretty far. You just gotta be able to maneuver the material and things like that. Up and out to the side like so, rotation of upper, shoulder, upper bicep,
What am I talking about? It does have a double jointed elbows, but it kind of feels like a single bend with all the material here. Rotation at the wrist as well as a hinge at the wrist. We got double ball pegs in the midsection. That rolls around actually very nicely. Does turn left and right. Pivot side to side. Crunches back and forth. Lots of good motion in there. Hip joints can kick forward that far. Back not so much. Again, bundled the material up to do the splits out about that far. Probably go a little further actually. Rotation to upper thigh. Double jointed knees. And then ankles just pop right off that socket, but then you can see they're on that forward facing ball peg that you can pop right back on, rotate up and down, and then a pretty decent ankle rocker. So overall, I freaking love this thing, man. I think Mezco has done such an incredible job with this set. Pair them up with Prune Face. Oh my god, I am loving what they did here.
So for a quick size comparison, here they are standing next to a Marvel Legends Deadpool and Mafex Batman figure. And how colorful is this pic? And for even more comparison, here they are standing next to a Mafex Bane and Mythic Legion Scapular. And for your Mezco Dick Tracy comparison, here they are standing next to Prune Face. So there it is, guys, my review of the Dick Tracy and Flat Top 2-pack. Now, I will start with the negative. In my opinion, the articulation is probably the most negative thing about these figures. Since you have so much material and layers of soft goods, it is going to hinder articulation and it can be pretty finicky. But if you know how to maneuver the articulation through those soft goods and, bunch stuff up around, I think you will do great with these figures because under all that fabric, they are pretty well articulated. Now, I just absolutely love the Dick Tracy IP. It is a very undervalued and underutilized IP. I love the fact that Mezco put these in the 112 collective. The soft goods are so damn good. Mezco just continues to improve with the tailoring of their suits. They are so much fun. I love all the different weapons and accessories, especially that violin case that can break down that rifle. I think it's just really, really cool, man. I love all the different head sculpts where they take those old school comic book looks and give them that realistic feel. I think it's genius. Mezco kills in that area. I hope we get a ton more of Dick Tracy characters. I want so many more villains. I would love an entire collection of Dick Tracy Mezco figures. That would be incredible. So if you could find these, I highly recommend them because in my opinion, they are definitely a must get. So be excellent to each other and stay nerdy, my friends. Peace.